If you want to win this jet, all you have to do is subscribe, click the notification bell, and the like button. Then check back with me from time to time and see my new videos. Once we get to 1,000, we're going to do a drawing. I had a drawing at 100 and only 30% signed up. With those odds, it could be a 1 in 300 chance. Subscribe. Check me out, guys. Here, Bruce. There you goes. Can you come up a little higher? Okay, Brutus is gone. I'm back. So, hey guys, hope your Saturday is going good. I didn't fly today because of the weather last night. Storm, a bad storm. It carried on until nearly 5 a.m. So therefore I didn't get a whole lot of sleep. And when I did get up and get moving today, it was windy and just the aftermath of a bad storm. And I didn't fly. But tomorrow, looking forward to it. And I want to fly this plane again. This is the SIG EDGTRA. And the EDGTRA is a cross between the Edge and an Extra. I had no idea at the time when I got it that I had a crossbreeded airplane. So anyways, I have a crossbreeded plane. Last weekend I flew it more times than ever consecutively and was successful, and it flew good, and I can't wait to fly it again.
16.3 volts, 9 amps, 100 Fahrenheit.
I was gonna do a propeller change last weekend, and when I stuck a different prop on it, it was rubbing the cowl. So instead of messing with that out in the field, I'm going to do that now. And that brings me to why I have the cowl off. So many of you guys are asking about this battery tray that I built for the inside of this plane. And with the cowl off, you'll be able to see things. This right here is what I used to build the battery tray. This is the FMS plastic battery tray that slides into like the pits, and there's several other planes. I think the E-flite P51, the 1.5, it has something like this, but you strap your battery to this tray and then you slide it in these rails and it clicks and locks in. And I just built a, whatever, a little home for it. Well, you'll see it. I just built some stuff, some sides, and boxed it in and made it work, and it's worked out awesome. I wish I could do this to every plane, but you've got to have the right room, and your plane needs to require, some extra nose weight, because the weight of this, plus the sides and the top and the bottom, the box that I built, that's quite a bit of weight. But all right, guys, hey, I'm gonna take this cowl off, and I'll show you guys around it. Alrighty, then get the propeller off. 13mm wrench. Like so. Right now, I'm running I'm running the setup that the manual recommended. All right, now, like I said, when I got this, I wasn't as experienced as I am now, and I would imagine that when this manual was put together, that 6S wasn't as popular and wasn't as affordable as it is now. So I feel like the plane does need a 6S setup, and I'm going to try that after tomorrow, if I feel like I need to. Right now I have a really good motor on it, the Spectrum 4250 800 kV, and it seemed to have had plenty of power as far as flying a plane for sport. But that was also why I wanted to change the propellers. I want to try different timing levels, different props, and then see what the battery consumption is, and the heat, and the amp draw, and the whole shebang. And after that trial and error, I might put this other motor on that I'll show you guys here in a minute. Here's this battery tray that I get. FMS, it's the part number FMMSU 137. It says the
P51D 1400 millimeter, but I think I bought it as the Pitts replacement battery tray. But I'm sure it's used in a lot of stuff. But it comes with the rails and the slide, and under the hood here, here's the, just like so. Strap your battery on, and then lock it in. And then, like I said, it comes with these rails. You know, everything's painted gray now, but the bottom is, what is that? The bottom is a sheet of, well, not plywood, but you know, it's wood that you get at craft stores and so forth. You know, very similar to this probably. And I cut it to width, and then I'll show you on the sides here, but I've got some square wood stock inside the frame rails here. On this thing, if you can see, this is the inside of the, I guess you can call it the channel that the tray slides into. And these sides are, they're big enough to put this in here. Hang on. So I had like some square stock, I guess you'd call it, and I think obviously I had pieces that were bigger that filled up this whole gap in here, and then I glued this down on both sides of this plywood, and then I glued the rails to it, and then I also made it where you can screw all that into the front of the plane. That way we can take it out if we need to. Let me see if I can't get you guys up in here. See the screw here, and there's another one right here. And you can see that on the inside of this, of the channel that the battery tray, you know, slides into, it's flat right here. So it's wood, you know, on three sides, and then everything's all just glued together. You can also see inside there that there's a little tab that I made that screws into, like here. I'll take that out at some point and show you guys the whole thing. Give you a little more shot like this. If I can get this in left-handed and all backwards like that. Like that. Like so. Alrighty. A little more betters on the close-up. There you can see the screws on the little ears that I put in place. Yeah, there you go. You can look through one side. You can kind of get an idea how I made it where you can take it in and out. Another angle here. So there you can see that these little channels, you know, are open right there. But then you can see that they're not open right here because I have like that wood stock in there. I wish more planes had room to do that. Like so. Sweet. All right, let's adjust the cowl. Before we get into the cowl adjusting business, if that Spectrum Avian 4250 motor doesn't work out, my first choice that I might go with is this. This is a 4258 that goes on the FMS Beaver. And the reason this would be my first choice is, don't forget, I'm running a 4250, which is 42 millimeters wide, 50 millimeters long, meaning this way long. So this one is only 8 millimeters longer. So I can fix that with the length of the standoffs to get my cowl to clear. So this motor is not all that much bigger. And then if that idea doesn't work out, this is the motor that comes in the Draco, and it is a 50-65, so it's 50 millimeters wide, 65 long, so this is quite a bit longer. Or this motor here that I actually got for this thing not too long ago. This is a Leopard Hobby, and it's a 50-55 next to the Draco. So we'll see. Maybe my flying style and so forth, this avian motor will work out. All right, the cowl adjustment is not going to take much at all. These are the propellers that I'm wanting to use on this plane. I have several of these XORs, and they're a little thicker right here than the plastic props that I've been using. And you can see, I guess, the whole geometry of it or whatever. It just made it rub a little bit when I had put it on. Every once in a while I'd go by and it would rub. And all I need to do is enlarge these holes a little bit, only one direction, where I can slide it in just a little bit to get to clear. So I need to make the holes like an egg shape coming towards the front, so I can push it back. You had to think about all that. That's all. It was all a little backwards. So I need to push it in. So the holes need to be a little bigger right there, and not much. So you can kind of just rock your blade back and forth and accomplish what you need to accomplish. Yeah, I remember from trying to put this on that it wasn't rubbing all that much. Like at one point I was like, oh, it'll quit rubbing after a few laps around the park. You know, that kind of deal. But nope. Years ago I'd rush it, you know, who cares, it'll quit rubbing. Now, not like that. Still make stupid decisions and stuff, like the crash of my FMS pits. God, that's a bummer, man. I had the gain set so low for my safe select on the pitch that when I was about to take off, it wouldn't lift up off the ground, and I should have just stopped, and I didn't. And then it resulted in the crash that I'm dealing with and all the repairs I'm having to go through them. So, is what it is. So we got some screws somewhere right about there. Just like so. Just getting them started by hand, and then we'll have to use the screw driver. told this story before how I got this plane, but COVID, you know, sad, unfortunate COVID had just hit, and this was, I guess you'd call it May 2 years ago, and I got back into the hobby. You know, I wasn't into it all that much. Like, I didn't know a whole lot before, but I got into it, then I got out of it, and anyways, I got back into it real hot and heavy then, and I wanted to buy an ARF plane, and I ended up at SIG's website, and I found what they called a 4-star 54, really cool sport plane, and I ordered it on their website and paid for it, and you know, according to the internet and their website, you know, it was set on go. A couple of days from now, I'd have it. Well, then my phone rings from some number I didn't recognize, and it was this lady, and she said, "Hi, this is such and such from SIG Manufacturing." And anyways, she's worked there for like 30-something years, and it's a small business, and I really didn't know that, and I believe it's a family business. She might even be in the family, and then she started telling me about all the, you know, we were having trouble with all the shipping, and you know, COVID was just messing up the supply chain and everything, and she basically said, we don't know where our airplanes are. They're somewhere on a ship in some ocean somewhere. We just don't know. And she said, we have 3 airplanes total in our warehouse, and they were these, all the same. And she said, I can refund you the money, or if you wanted one of these, it was like 100 and something, like maybe 130 difference. And she said, I'll split the difference. And we did. I had to pay all the tax or something. But anyways, I ended up with this for probably 80 bucks less than what it would have cost. So that's how I ended up with this SIG EDGTRA, my crossbreeded airplane. All right, so we're rubbing just a little bit. I'm gonna loosen my screws back up, and then we can adjust it in the where we made the holes a little egg-shaped. I like it. I don't know if it's centered or not, but tighten up one side. Let's see what that looks like. That'll hold it right there. That looks like a winner right there. Let's tighten the other ones down. And then we need to make sure that the hatch will still go on, because it kind of slides under part of this cowl. Like that. And then that will work. Let's just make sure, tighten up the prop nut. Maybe. Sweet. One of these wooden pillars, well, maybe 3 of them, stuck in this very ceiling right here when I was doing some kind of motor testing. It was dangerous. I'll show them to you. All right, I have these screwed to my wall of shame, I guess you'll say. This one is a 15 by 8, and it shattered right around here when it hit something. Another one right here came apart. This one I think may have happened in the field. This one here broke right here in this very room. And then this one broke here in this room too. It's cracked all the way down here. So I've had some rogue propellers but I'm gonna put them back up on the wall of shame. And ever since I've done that, I don't have any more runaway props. Before I put this back up in its parking spot in the hangar, not too far long ago, I did a video. God, that was horrible. I did a video on connecting these LiPo batteries in series, where you could take like two 3S batteries and make one 6S. Well, this plane has a Avian 80 amp smart speed control, and it came from the factory wired to use two batteries. And one of you guys commented about, instead of using two, you could put a jumper in there. But right here, you can see that that is the jumper plug. You can see the two black wires going around and then plugging back into it. This is the end that I use. If I wanted to use two batteries, take this jumper out and then plug another one into that right there. All right, I got it hung back up in its parking spot for tonight. There's the air tractor saying hey. Well, hey guys, I'm saying hey. Thank you so much. Until next time, you'll see me here.